STARLOG 01/24/2016. Captain Necro Toxic. Hey folks, how you doing? I had a really cool dream today. When it was early in the morning. It was like 6 in the morning. I had this really cool dream, and it was like it says in the title, it was a post-apocalyptic dream. It was after the world was destroyed, because this girl took me by the hand, and she guided me through the city, and she went up to this really tall building, and it was destroyed. It was like half destroyed, and she jumped into this pool of water, so I jumped into this pool of water. And then she took me to this underworld. I followed her. She guided me through this underworld, and everybody was like, it was like Mad Max. It was like everybody was dressed in leather and, painted up and stuff. And I felt at home. I felt really at home. I felt like this was my tribe. Like in this world, I really feel like I don't fit into anything in this world. Nothing. Like I can't find any avenues to become one with people, you know? And this dream felt really good. It felt really good. People were cooking food. There was every so often I would bump into a band playing. And it wasn't like a rock concert at a venue. It was more outside-ish type of thing. But this is an underground. I woke up and I was like, oh man, I want to go back there, you know. So I tried going back to sleep so I could dream again, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And it really sucked, because I really felt at home. And I woke up, and the title for this video came to me instantly. It just almost like just popped in my head, and 13th Tribe. And I think that was the future. And I think there's a thing, if you look up, if you study what the 13th Tribe is, I think it's in the future. And I think this was the 13th Tribe. This 13th Tribe is made up of all cultures. Black, white, red, yellow, and all in between colors. It wasn't just a white tribe. It was a tribe of all cultures. It was multicultural, and people were cooking food, and there was women. Women were giving me all this armor, like iron. A lot of women were giving me iron, and I accepted it, and they'd place it on me where it would be. And it was pretty nice. I felt at home. I felt like this is the world I want to live in, you know? Imagine, a world without religious garbage, and a world without government rules, and just imagine that, you know? Imagine a world without bullcrap religion and rules by governments that could care less about you or me. Just imagine a world like that. And this was definitely long after the post-apocalypse. It was post-apocalyptic. And I just woke up and I had this title in my head, and I had to do a video of it. I'll tell you guys about this, because I think it's a future. I think, there's this 13th tribe that's going to assemble, that are going to be deadly, and they're going to destroy, and they're going to take over this planet. And there always has to be rules. There always has to be some kind of rules to follow, or else it usually goes to the pit. It was a nice dream. I don't know who this woman was. The woman was I couldn't see who she was or what. I knew it was a girl. I knew it was definitely a female. And she guided me into this apocalyptic underground, which was pretty cool. The bands were playing heavy metal, and the whole earth was knocked down. Everything was knocked down. There was hardly a building left. Half a building, and that's what we walked up. We walked up this half a building, and then we jumped off the building into a pool of water, and then we went to some world underneath the water, underground. And it was way better than this world. It was way better. It was like everybody was accepted. You weren't cast out for, being different, because actually being normal would be different in this world. It was the best dream I ever had, and I think God has a great plan of re-establishing the world, because this one really bites, and we all know it. We all know that these governments don't do crap for us, and religion is, it might have started off as a good idea, but all the religions have really become a detriment to our health. Like, we got to get rid of religion. Maybe some of them, some of them are good. Like, the Hare Krishnas are good. But they still have their problems. I thought I'd tell you of my dream, and maybe we could assemble this 13th tribe. We could, get an army together, and we could take this planet over. And that's what I hope is going to happen. I'd rather die fighting with my boots on than lay down and let me be a lapdog for the government. Serious people, start thinking about this kind of stuff. Start thinking about this stuff. Do you want to be a slave to this government so they could rape you and fucking murder you whenever they want? That's not cool, because they're gonna usher in pedophilia. Well, they already made they already had the Trojan horse come in, which is the gay agenda. Now men and women could get married. Man could get women married, which isn't a bad idea. I think it should happen, but they're just using it to put in they want to have kids. You like in the Muslim faith, you could marry a girl at 6 years old. And that's pedophilia. No matter which way you look at it, slice it, it's pedophilia, folks. And they want to bring in that system so that these perverts that run this shit pile get their thrills off, get their rocks off on little kids. People, you got to really start thinking. This government's pretty nasty. They're perverted. And we got to assemble. We got to do something soon. Because this world isn't forever. And if you think it is, all this technology, it's not going to be forever. We're not going to have cell phones in the future. We're not going to have TVs. We're not going to have computers. We're going to be living differently. But we're going to have technology, but we're going to have it differently. It's going to work differently. So I would say, don't let them push this agenda, because this agenda is our demise. It's our death. And all you transgender, gay, lesbian people, you got to stand up against us too, because you don't want the government to be able to have sex with children. And that's why they're bringing in all this lesbian gay marriage. They're not doing it for your betterment. They're doing it to bring out their perverse nature and get away with it. Because these guys love little kids, obviously. These governments. They're twisted, and they need to be dealt with. And I don't know why people are sitting around fiddling around. They should be joining together and making plans and making plans together. And this world is insane. It really is insane. It really is insane. And who knows what will be next. After, maybe we'll be able to get, if you're into bestiality, we'll be able to marry a dog or a cat. I mean, that's how ridiculous it's getting out there, people. You got to really think about it. And what are you going to do about it? That's my question to all people on this planet. What are you going to do about it? And when? And how? And who? And this dream is the future, and we got to stand up, and we got to make our stand, or we lie down and let them do whatever they want to us. And that's not cool with me, and it shouldn't be cool with you folks out there. You know, you should be banding together and making your own rules, making your own in righteousness. I'd rather, like I said, I'd rather die with my boots on than let the government turn me into a slave, a dumbed down slave, and yes man. You know, it's not cool with me, and it shouldn't be cool with you. What are you going to do about it? How, when, where, who? Ask yourself that daily, because they're already as wicked as they can be. They get away with it because nobody does nothing about nothing. Come on, people. We are wiser. We are smarter. And we can do it, you know. King David in the Bible had so much confidence in himself that he knocked down like probably a 10-foot giant. He knocked him down. He picked up 5 stones, and he had faith in the Lord, and he had faith in himself to knock that giant down. He knew he was going to do it because he had faith. He had knowledge. He had. That's one thing about King David, is that he had courage. He wasn't a wimp. He never laid down to nobody. Only God. He'd lay down to God, and godly people. When God put people in order to bow down to, David knew it. He was a very humble human being in his daily life. He was a warlike person, but he was good to the women. The women were good to him. He had lots of wives. He had thousands of wives. Why? Obviously, he was a good guy. I mean, no girl's going to put up with a nasty motherfucker, really. I mean, how long are you going to last with that? You're not going to last forever with that situation. I mean, that's what the Bible's about, is showing you good examples of being righteous and not being high on yourself and not being a detriment to other people. But anyways, people, let's do this together. Let's assemble this 13th tribe and make the post-apocalyptic dream come to life, brothers and sisters, and all in between. Because, this is our world too, and you know what? The government needs to be punished. The government needs to be punished, folks, for what they did and do. So when they get their just desserts, don't feel sorry for these people. They're getting what they deserve. And sometimes I wish I was on the delivering end of torturing these people, because I would get off on torturing evil, twisted, perverted people anytime, any day of the week, 365 days a year. And I'm here to protect the innocent, and I'm here to guide the dumb and the stupid out of garbage and destroying yourself. Let's band together. We are the 13th tribe. Amen.